Hello student, this is Pallad Ribari, your host, and you're watching Pallad Ribari classes. This is the second chapter, Macroeconomic Class 12th, Money and Banking. This is the sixth volume of the chapter, Money and Banking. In this video, we will discuss history of Reserve Bank of India, and we will also discuss the structure of Reserve Bank of India. Let us discuss the history of Reserve Bank of India. Before the formation of Reserve Bank of India, the bank that was performing the function of Reserve Bank of India was the Imperial Bank. We know that the Imperial Bank was the earlier Presidency Bank, which is the sum total of three banks, that is Bank of Bengal, Bank of Chennai and Bank of Mumbai. In the year 1921, the presidency banks were merged and they got the name Imperial Bank. And since 1921, Imperial Bank was performing the function of RBI. In 1920, British government formed a commission. The name of the commission was Royal Commission of Indian Currency and Finance, which is popularly called Hilton and Young Commission. The purpose of framing the commission is to find out whether there is a requirement of the central bank in the country or not. In every country, we know that we are having the central bank. For example, in America, we are having the Federation Bank of USA. In Pakistan, we are having the Bank of Pakistan. So in every country, there is a central bank which controls and monitors all the banking sectors of the country. Similarly, in our country, we are having RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. So in the year 1920, it was realized that we should have the central bank which will monitor all the banking transaction of the country. So to find out the requirement, the British government formed a commission and asked the commission to submit the report so that it will be decided whether we should frame the central bank or not. This commission submitted its reports, and on the basis of its report in 1934, the RBI Act was passed in the Parliament and RBI started its operation in 1935. Remember one thing, RBI is a statutory body. Listen, we are having two types of the body. One is called the statutory body and the other one is called constitutional body. So how many body do we have? We are having two bodies, statutory body and constitutional body. Let us see what the statutory body do. This statutory body is the organization formed by passing the act in the Parliament. And what is the constitution body? It is the organization formed by making changes in the constitution of the country. So RBI is a statutory body. Why? Because it is being formed by passing the special act in the Parliament, not by making changes in the constitution of the country. And we know that the RBI comes in operation by passing a special resolution in the Parliament, that is, or by passing the act in the Parliament, that is 1934, and it operates its business in the year 1935. Initially, the central bank or central office of RBI was established in Calcutta, but was permanently moved to Mumbai in 1937. RBI was initially privately owned but was nationalized on 1st January 1949. So when, as I told you, when the RBI was formed, it was privately owned and it was owned by Imperial Bank. So it was privately owned banking institution. So after the nationalization, that is 1st January 1949, all its share in the capital of the bank was deemed transferred to the central government on payment of the suitable compensation. So thereafter RBI comes under the hands of the government. And remember one thing, as I told you, it is a statutory body, so the government intervention is minimum over there. Now let us discuss the structure of RBI. The first, RBI. Remember one thing, RBI has 4 local boards which are in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta and Chennai. These are the 4 metropolitan cities and the local boards are on these metropolitan cities. It has 20 regional offices and 11 sub offices. So we can see that it has 35 offices from where it operates or it manages the operation. Let us see the number of board of directors. There are 21 persons in the board of directors, consisting of 1 governor of RBI, 4 deputy governors, 4 members comes from local boards, that is Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta and Chennai, 2 members come from finance ministry and 10 members comes from government of India. So the total number becomes 21. So right now in the board of directors 21 persons are there, and we have seen 1 governor is there, 4 deputy governors, 4 members comes from local boards, 2 members come from finance ministry and 10 members from government of India. Now let us see the role of the governor of RBI, or just see something about the governor of RBI. The total tenure for the governor of RBI is 3 years. For 3 years he will hold the office, but the time period can be extended to 5 years. See, the day I am recording this video, the governor of RBI is Shaktikant Das. He is the 25th governor of RBI. Currency note issued by RBI should be signed by the governor. So the currency note which is being printed today is being signed by Shaktikant Das. We can see his initial on it. The first governor of RBI was Osborne Smith, and the first governor of the Independence India was C.D. Deshmukh. Now let us see the subsidiaries of RBI. The RBI has 3 subsidiaries. These are the fully owned subsidiaries of RBI. The first subsidiaries of RBI is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. The next subsidiary is National Housing Bank. And the third and the most important one is Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Private Limited. These are the 3 subsidiaries of RBI. We will discuss and see one by one about every subsidiaries of the RBI. We will start with the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. The deposit insurance is a protection cover for the deposit holders in a bank when the bank fails and does not have money to pay its deposits. So what is the work of the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation? That it will provide protection to the amount of the deposit holders in a bank when the bank fails and does not have money to pay its depositors money. That happens only in the case of financial emergency. Up till now, we are lucky that we have not faced or witnessed any financial emergency. The second work is, this insurance is provided by Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, which is wholly owned subsidiary of RBI. As I told you, the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation is the wholly owned subsidiary of RBI. It means 100% shares of this corporation is held by RBI. The Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation insures all bank deposits such as money in the saving account, fixed, current and recurring deposits up to the limit of 5 lakhs per bank. Earlier it was 1 lakh rupees. Now the limit has increased to 5 lakh. What it means? If the total of all deposit held by an individual in a single bank exceeds 5 lakh, then he will be able to get only 5 lakh inclusive of principal and the interest amount if the bank goes bankrupt. It means that the bank give the insurance up to 5 lakh rupees only. If you are having less money, then you will get the less money, and if you are having more money, For example, suppose the depositor is having 1 crore rupees in the bank will pay only 5 lakh rupees because this is the insurance which the bank has given to the depositor along with the interest, no doubt. So the bank, this deposit insurance and the credit guarantee corporations insured the deposits up to 5 lakh rupees. Earlier it was 1 lakh rupees, now it increased to 5 lakh rupees. It means that if anything goes wrong, this deposit insurance credit guarantee corporation is liable to pay 5 lakh rupees to the deposit holders plus interest. Now let us discuss the National Housing Bank. National Housing Bank has been established with an objective to operate as a principal agency to promote housing finance institutions both at local and the regional level, and to provide financial and other supports incidental to such instructions as for matter connected therewith. So the point is clear. National Housing Board, what is the function of the National Housing Bank? It means it promotes housing function at the regional and the local level. I mean, this assists the bank which provide housing loan to the individuals. It monitors the bank also, such as the policies through which the loan should be given for the construction of house. Let us see the last subsidiary, that is the Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Private Limited. Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Private Limited was established by Reserve Bank of India as its wholly owned subsidiary on 3rd February 1995 with a view to augmenting the production of banknotes in India to enable the RBI to bridge the gap between the supply and the demand of banknotes in the country. So this subsidiary is print currencies on behalf of the RBI so that the shortfall between the demand and supply should be minimized. Very important thing, and we all basically want to know the printing press in India. In India we are having 4 printing press, 2 printing presses being owned by RBI and 2 printing presses being owned by Government of India. Let us see the printing press owned by RBI, that is Mysore, Karnataka, Selbani, West Bengal, Devas and Nasik. These printing press is being owned by Government of India. So Mysore printing press and the Selbani printing press is being owned by RBI, and the printing press, and remember one thing, the printing press located in Mysore and the Selbani is being owned by RBI, and on behalf of the RBI, the Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Private Limited print note through these printing press. Devas, Nasik, the Government of India owned the printing press over there. And remember one thing, on behalf of the Government of India, the Security of Printing and Minting Corporation of India prints the currencies. The Government of India issues all coins and 1 rupee note. 1 rupee note is signed by the Finance Ministry. The day I am recording this video, the Finance Minister is Subhash Chandra Garg. RBI issues 2 rupees note and above denomination note. According to RBI Act 1934, RBI can print note with a maximum denomination of 10,000 rupees. Government of India can mint coins in 4 places. First one is Mumbai, second is Calcutta, then Hyderabad, and the last one is Noida. A person can easily find out by seeing the note whether it is being minted from Mumbai or Calcutta, Hyderabad or Noida. Listen, the coin minted from Mumbai should have a diamond sign, and the coin minted from Calcutta does not bear any sign. Hyderabad, star sign is there, and Noida, dot sign is there. By seeing these sign, we can figure it out whether the note is being minted from Mumbai, Calcutta, Hyderabad or Noida. Check the coin and figure it out of your own whether the coin which you people are using is minted from Mumbai, Calcutta, Hyderabad or Noida. Mumbai, diamond sign, Calcutta, no sign, Hyderabad, star, Noida, dot. The coin minted from Calcutta does not bear any sign. Because why? Because this is the because the coin start minting from Calcutta only. So during that time period we don't have the provision of putting any sign. So the coin minted from Calcutta does not put any sign. According to the Coinage Act 2011, maximum denomination of the coin can be 1000 rupees. The printing of the currency note in India is done on the basis of minimum reserve system. This system is applicable in India since 1956. According to this system, the Reserve Bank of India has to maintain assets of at least 200 crore rupees all the time. That is 115 crore rupees gold and 85 crore rupees foreign reserve should be in it. So on the basis of 2000 crore rupees, the government of India prints the note. This is the minimum amount which the RBI should maintain all the time, and the ratio is 115:85. 115 crore gold and 85 crore foreign reserve. Let us see the person who has given the rupee symbol. The name of the person who has given this symbol, that is rupees, Indian currency, is Uday Kumar. He is the man behind the distinct this symbol. Uday Kumar was just a day or two away from starting his new job in the Department of Design at the Indian Institute of Technology IIT Guwahati in 2010, when he won a national contest to design a symbol for the Indian rupee. That's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Dear subscribers, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that whenever I upload the new video, you get the notification. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.